Alright guys, so welcome back to Gamer Today. Today we're going to be talking about Apex Legends. Apex Legends is a new battle royale game. It's been out for about 2 weeks now, but I know there's a lot of you guys who did not yet play this game. That's why I decided to make this video. It's kind of a newbies friendly video. This video is going to be great for anybody who's new to the game of Apex Legends or someone who has not yet downloaded the game. I know some of you guys are a little afraid because you guys are already playing Call of Duty or you're playing Fortnite, and I can't blame you guys. Those are both great games, and there's a lot of other great battle royale games out there. But I will say Apex Legends jumps into the forefront and is really a great game to play. So once you come into the game after the cutscene, you're going to notice that you have a training to do. Now, I normally complain about training modes, but this training is actually essential and necessary. I do say so. I know that's hard to believe because I really do not like tutorials before I play a game. Just like back in the day with platformers, you wouldn't want a tutorial before you start collecting coins. I think jumping and collecting coins is pretty simple. But this game is totally different and does require a little finesse. Now, obviously, the very beginning is quite boring. Jump, crouch, slide. But you're going to notice something about the sliding mechanic. The sliding mechanic's actually pretty cool because you can slide some distance, you get some great speed, and you can do some great maneuvers and jumps to shoot people with, etc. And just, it's basically a great way to get around the map. As for shooting weapons, the weapons are very, very nice and tight. Yeah, they're pretty cool to use. The Peacekeeper's definitely a favorite. As for going through this, you can also see your ping system. This is really crucial. This is your way of contacting your team and telling them what's going on. After that, you're going to end up going to Mr. Pathfinder over here, which you're going to listen to this. Yeah, that bobbled my mind too. It's like 2 tracks of audio fighting over each other. I had no idea what the hell he said. I heard dummy, I didn't hear anything else to be honest, and then I realized I had to heal something. I was like, whoa, slow down Pathfinder. Crazy, but then I found the dummy right next to me, press square. Now when I did revive him the first time, he fell back down. It was like a glitch, it didn't actually go through, so don't be surprised if that happens to you as well. Okay, so this is the tactical health thing, which also heals your teammates. Pretty darn cool. This is one of her special abilities. It's character specific, I should mention. So right now we're showing how to revive people. Or respawn them, I should say. Thank you. So basically all you do is you go bring it to this little beacon over here. The dropship comes down and then they drop your teammate. It's actually a pretty cool little presentation. It's very loud in game though, so do keep in mind you'll bring a lot of attention to yourself by reviving teammates. So if you're in an area with a lot of people, it might be a bit of a risk. So we're going to call in a care package, and this is pretty cool too. The animation for the care package is really darn cool. I mean, I love the fact that you see it in the sky. It's pretty darn cool. I did a little jump cut there, but pretty awesome, right? And then you can get your loot and everything else. This is really helpful in the game. That's why you're going to see a lot of people playing Lifeline, because she's very, very helpful pretty much to any loadout. Whether we have a squad of whoever, Pathfinder, etc., it doesn't make a difference. She's very, very helpful. So let's talk about these legends. You got Bloodhound, you got Gibraltar, you've got Lifeline, Pathfinder, Wraith, Blanglador, I don't know how to pronounce it, Caustic, and Mirage. Now half those I pronounced wrong, but I do want to mention to you guys, a lot of people are worried about the cosmetics in these kind of games. I will say the cosmetics or the skins, etc. are insane. They do have a lot of cool stuff. I would say it's definitely better than Call of Duty, for the most part at least. I wouldn't say it's better than Fortnite. It depends how you look at it, but it's not really comparable to Fortnite at the same time. Then you also get your calling card banner things, which are pretty darn cool. Now I love these because they have a little bit of animation and they show off like a cool little thing before, so it's kind of like a nice way to say, hey, I'm cool, pay attention. And then you get these quad things, which are like phrases. And then after that, we got finishers. And finishers are pretty darn cool. Most of everybody in the game has 3 finishers. However, some do only have 2, which is quite strange. And one of them is a paid character. Yeah, there are paid or craftable characters in this game. And this roster is not yet complete, so we'll be getting new characters shortly. Well, hopefully, that's what they've said. Anyways, these calling cards do raise a little bit of a thing, because you can also do poses with them. So if you're not happy with the current pose you got, you can always unlock new poses. And it's kind of cool. It's like another reason to play the game. Then you also got badges, but I honestly don't give a shit about badges, so I don't know about you guys, but those seem kind of pointless. You can also track each stat with the characters too that you do, so that's kind of cool too. He's actually got one of the funnier finishers in the game for his final finisher, or his 3rd finisher. His basic one's kind of boring, to be honest with you. His second one's a little bit better, at least it's a shield smash. It's interesting. The 3rd one's definitely funny though. I don't know, it's a little silly. He just jumps on him and sits on him basically. I don't know, I think it's a little silly humor, but it'll do. As for Lifeline, she's got a bunch of cool banners as well. I like that one especially. There's so many cool ones for her since she's basically the medic of the team. She's got a lot of medic, type things or healing things. But her kill or finishes are just kind of scary, to be honest with you. Watch this one. Stabs him with a needle. I'm afraid of needles, so that scares the hell out of me. And then this one's kind of scary too. This robot that normally heals now fucking backfires and kills them. That's scary. Okay, so that's freaky. As for Pathfinder, Pathfinder's got a lot of cool skins. He's probably got some of the better skins in the game. I mean, depends if you like the flashier type skins like I do. I like things with lights and etc. So this is kind of cool.
I'm coming for you, friend.
And his phrases are hilarious, of course. Finisher-wise, though, he's pretty funny as well, I'll be honest with you. His first one is still pretty funny. I love the fact that he claps after it. The second one's a little bit funnier. It took me twice to realize what was going on. He basically does the same exact thing, besides he pulls him by the neck and then he claps his hand. I think it's hilarious. The third one, of course, is like a boxing kind of thing. I like that. Uppercut, I don't know. Third one's not as good. I think the second one's funnier because he actually gives him a high five. Yeah, as for Wraith, I think her skins are pretty darn cool as well, but she's not nearly as fledged out with skins as some of the other characters. But her, her cards are pretty cool for sure. No complaints there. She's one of the characters you're going to be using the most, I predict. I mean, she's definitely one of the better characters in the game, honestly. For good, for new players or for veterans, etc. Well, I don't know if you could call a veteran in this game, but her finishes are pretty aggressive. I really do like the aggressive finishes. This one's a little bit more funny. She opens up a portal because she's interdimensional, like, type fighter. She throws him through the portal. As for Caustic now, Caustic's one of those paid characters, so you kind of have to raise your stakes a bit, or craftable characters I should mention. So you kind of look at it and go, well, he looks pretty cool. It's not really the look of him that you should be paying for in this case, it's more of his abilities. He's got gas trap abilities and things along those lines that make him kind of interesting. So he's definitely worth taking a look at. And of course that voice is very cool as well. His finishers, some of them are okay. The original finisher you get, I wouldn't say it's that great. The second finisher, a little bit better, just sprays him with some poison and that kills him. Interesting. And then you've got the third finisher, which is a little bit better, at least it's like a pound right in the face. Then you've got Mirage, and Mirage is the last payable character or craftable character. You could either craft them again or pay for them outright with real, obviously real world money, so there goes that. Then of course you've got different banners for him as well. Some of his are quite funny. I do think they're pretty cool. But again, he's not the character for me necessarily, but I do think he's really kind of a cool character to play. As for his finishers, though, he's got two, and that's what kind of weirds me out. Why only two finishers for a paid fighter? I don't understand that. So, the first one's the kick, and then you've got the punch, which is cool. It's like he's a Mirage, he's got a clone. Let's get on to the guns now. The guns do have camos or skins as well, and I will say some of these are the best I've seen out of all the shooting games I've played. I really do like these gun skins quite a bit. Now, the ones I'm showing you in the beginning, kind of boring, I'll be honest with you, they're okay, but it starts getting more interesting as we go, and I'm like, whoa. I did come across some that I really, really like, and of course that one there, I love the motion and the water flowing between the gun there. That's really cool as well. As for seeing that in-game, I don't know if you will, but it is still cool nonetheless, just knowing that I have that. But that's how most skins are in first-person shooting games regardless. But that one right there, God, does that look amazing to me. I love the detail of that. Anything that's like Chinese, or Japanese, or dragons, or anything Asian, basically, to me, I love the look of it. And, the Egyptian things are quite cool too. Kind of looks like an elephant, that gun, especially with the skins on it. Yeah, there's tons and tons of cool skins that you can get for your guns and camos. So I'm just showing you a bunch in this video. I'm not showing you all of them, but I'm showing you a bunch because I want you to get an idea of what it is that you can unlock in this game, because is it worth playing your time if you don't unlock anything? Some people would say yes, it's a fun game, but I'm one of those people who likes to unlock things. That's kind of what keeps me going in Fortnite and other games as well. Unlocking things is kind of my progression in the game. Otherwise you just lose or win, and it's kind of boring, So having something on the side that you can do or work towards something is always a lot more fun than just playing and losing and winning and losing. That gun right there, by the way, is a nod back to Earth Defense Force. I don't know if you guys remember that game or ever played it, but that's a nod. Oh, I love that gun right there. That's a cool one. Yeah, there's so many great guns in this game. I mean, it's really hard to say my favorite, but I think my favorite is this one coming up right about. Hang on. The next one. Nope, the next one. There we go. That's my favorite. That is so cool. These guns are really cool. Let's talk about the store, though. The store is where you can actually buy skins outright, and then there's also something you might notice. You can actually go next door and get some loot boxes. Cosmetic Apex Pack is what they call it. It's basically a cosmetic loot box. After that, you can also buy those guys I told you about, which you already knew. Then there's also the in-game currency, which you can also buy with real money. Gotta love it. Okay, so enough about all that. So what happens once you get into a game in Apex Legends? Well, that's where the fun begins. I will say, when you first play your first game of Apex Legends, you're probably or guaranteed to die. You may not even get a kill, you may not even find a gun. The reason for it? It's set up to be that way. But the first thing you're going to notice is there's a select a legend. There's no waiting lobby. This is the waiting lobby. You and your teammates either get randomly chosen to select, either you'll be first, second, or third. This is a concept brought over from Overwatch, which is originally from MOBAs. You know, those multiplayer battle arena games. But anyway, the idea of this is pretty cool, and it does cut down the wait time quite a bit by taking out the lobby, which makes it slightly faster than Fortnite in basically every way, but again, it's not a huge difference. It's like 10 seconds difference, which depends, you know, I mean, you can look at it as a huge improvement. Another thing you're going to notice, you get to see all of your stats from you and your teammates, so you can see who the best on the team is, but don't be fooled, some of the best players go down first sometimes. You just need to, you know, stay alive, guys, stay alive. As for that, you can also see who's the champion and who has the champion squad. And when the champion does die in the game actually tells you, which is kind of cool, makes you feel like a part of it. Now when you come in here, you're going to notice there's something called a jump master. And right now I'm being the jump master. So basically what I need to do is find where we're going to jump, and people could suggest in between where we should jump. But I'm going to make my suggestion, and because I'm a complete noob, I'm going to pick the most random place possible, and just because it looks cool. Then what happens is you jump down. Now you can also do the free look thing, which is very similar to something like, you know, Call of Duty in that respect, or PUBG. But it looks pretty cool. You can see the entrails are making like a rainbow back there, and then you've got those things in the background. Whoa, what are those, right? I want to see a game all about them. They're too cool. Anyways, you come down here, and yeah, you're like, well, where's the guns? Are there chests? Where do I get guns? Are they on top of the roof? Are they scattered? I don't know. I mean, maybe this building there's going to be a gun. And there will be guns in buildings. There will be things in buildings. But there's never just a set amount of things in a building. So going to one single building will not get you enough guns for a whole team. It's guaranteed. You need to go and split yourself up between buildings. But you probably won't find a gun, especially if you land where there's other people where there's other people at. So you need to make sure to be, you know, kind of smart about it, because you're probably going to end up dying. So, first game you die, you're like, okay, well that was fun, please revive me, please revive me. You start, you know, waiting to go down, you didn't get a shield, you didn't get anything. Yeah, there's shields in this game, I'm going to tell you about that as well, but we'll go talk about that a little bit later. So your second game comes around. So you're like, well, I'm not the jump master this time, I'm going to tell people where I want to go over there. And if you're fortunate enough, your team will let you go where you want to go, regardless of being the jump master, but you don't control it. You can always jump alone though, but I don't recommend that. You don't have to listen at all to your team. And what happens when you don't listen to the team at all? You all die. It's stupid. Don't do it. By yourself in this game, it's pretty much a guaranteed death. The chances of surviving or winning by yourself, you know, if you're the only one left, is quite limited, especially if you die early game. So try to keep your teams alive. Now, notice that I'm picking up bullets and stuff. Well, I didn't realize originally that sometimes I'm picking up bullets I shouldn't be picking up. You need to pay attention to that little indicator next to your gun. See where this says 16? Well, right next to that, the little pretty picture there, that is the picture of the gun bullets you need. In this case, I think it's light bullets. I don't know. But the point is, you need to get used to it and find out what's what. Basically, even if you don't know what every weapon does, etc., just pay attention to the little pretty picture in the right-hand corner at the bottom, and then you can find out in your inventory what bullets you need and what you have. So pretty simple. And then of course you can make attachments. What you just see me do there is put a scope on. Yeah, there's scopes, there's attachments. You basically can have 3 attachments on a gun if the gun supports it. And not every gun supports every attachment. For instance, you can't use like a sniper stock on a gun that has nothing to do with sniping. You know, you can't just put it on anything. You gotta be smart. Standard stock, you can put that on almost everything. But you get my point. It's very common sense, I would think, at least. I don't know. Some of you guys might have your own opinion. But that's what I think. It is common sense. Anyways, going and finding loot, you're gonna notice these little supply drop thingies here. Supply chest, I don't know what you call them. But you go around, you can find those. You can also find weapons inside buildings. But finding these are a great way to get guaranteed loot. Going into a building is a guaranteed way to either get killed or find loot, or maybe find out someone else has already been there. As for these, once they're open, they don't close. So you know guaranteed if they're closed, you have a guaranteed loot. Will it be something you need? You don't know that yet. But anyways, you could also ping and tell people what you want, etc. So that's a cool thing about this game as well. Pinging is one of the best things about this game. Especially if you see someone, you can also tell everybody in the area, hey, there's somebody here. I think someone has been here. So be on the lookout. You know, it's kind of cool. Rather than putting on a microphone and having to tell people, you can just do that within the game. So you'll go to your third game now. Or you'll keep playing the game. Hopefully, if you do like it, you'll start to get better each time you play. The more and more you play this game, the better you'll get. Just like Fortnite or anything else you played or do play, you get better the more you play it. Because common sense, you're just new to the game. You don't even know the map yet. You don't know anything about the game. You're completely a newbie, a baby. That kind of thing. You know, you get the idea. So the whole point is, go around and try to get an idea for the landscape as well as where guns and stuff like that spawn. But basically the idea is you want to look inside buildings and in those chest things, because those are guaranteed. Those are guaranteed places to get some loot. Not every building will have great loot, though, be honest. Finding a weapon early game is the most essential. Find anything, even a pistol, pick it up, make sure you at least have a gun. Without a gun, you're useless to the team, and as well, you're useless to yourself. Now, there are 3 different levels of helmets and 3 different levels of armor. Keep in mind that the purple is the best, blue is the second best, that's level 2. So level 3 is purple, white is level 1. They each have different various levels of protection. Now, once you get suited up and you're ready for battle, go and join your friends who probably already shot the hell up by now, especially as you're just wandering around, and get yourself your first couple kills. It's not so hard, just shoot and aim, move and shoot. I don't know what to tell you. There's not much to say here other than do some good damage to them. But once they go down, go and grab some of their loot. But of course, if you have teammates down, you know, maybe take a sneak peek and then go revive your teammates, because they're going to be quite frustrated if you go and grab all the loot before reviving them. But if you really do need loot, get your loot first, then revive your team, because they might be kind of mean to you and get all your loot. So what that teammate right there is doing is basically going to revive or respawn our player. He's going to a beacon so he can bring the other player down. And that's something you've got to keep in mind as well. Now when you're looking at the loot of the other player, it kind of comes up in like a box like this. You get to see what the character was essentially, as well as their badge and their level, which is kind of cool. So it lets you know, hey, I killed a level 42 and I'm like a level 4. So I did pretty good this one. Then you can also take all their loot. So whatever you need, grab it now. But that's one of the absolute best parts of this game, is the actual battle mechanics. They're a lot of fun. It really is like a great mix between Overwatch and a Battle Royale game in a way. So yeah, when you get someone down, they have an opportunity to use the shield if they do have a shield. That shield is actually very essential. Let's watch that again. He's protecting me from shooting him with that shield, but the Peacekeeper is such a powerful weapon, I was able to break it. Now when you're using the shield, you also have the opportunity to block attacks, punches, but a grenade's simply going to, you know, kill you instantly. So don't be thinking, oh my god, I got a shield, I'm saved the day. So when you go down, that's the idea. That way, before you die, you could use a shield to kind of protect yourself, instead of having to be revived at one of them beacons and losing all your loot. Which I might add, you can actually go back for your loot later on if your box is still there, if no one on your team has already stole all your gear. Or check the enemies that died around you, they might already have your loot. But primarily a lot of your teammates will, you know, take your loot. They're kind of dicks like that. Anyways, get an idea for the game. The game's quite a beautiful game. Using these special abilities, especially something like the Bloodhound, where you could track the other enemies, that's something kind of cool. As you can see here, I saw an enemy run past. He was quite a ways away from me, but I was able to use this special ability of him, his first ability, and then I used his, you know, ultimate special ability, I don't know what you call it, but his ultimate special to actually see exactly where they were. And this actually shows me a blood trail of basically their scent, so I could actually see where he is. And as you can see, I kind of get this like black and red mode, and then I found him. Started shooting and did my damage. As for loot crates, this is what you get for just playing the game essentially too. And you can see I've got some pretty good stuff through some of the loot crates, so it's not too bad. You do have an opportunity to get cool stuff through just playing the game without spending money. I love how the bullets are shown on the gun as well on certain vehicles, right? Certain guns. It's kind of cool. And if an enemy does die and their other teammates are already dead, or if the you know, player just leaves the game, you'll just disappear into blue dust. Getting those long-range shots are tricky, especially if you don't have a scope or anything. So make sure you guys get at least a scope, or at least attempt to get a scope if you're using a long-range weapon. Don't try to get a good scope with a goddamn shotgun, though. You're not going to be doing that long-range damage, so use your brain a little bit. Now, when you actually revive someone from your team, basically you just have to run up after you picked up their little card from the crate, and then just go put it in that little beacon thing. And you also usually find loot around a beacon too, so even if you don't need to heal a player, finding a beacon can be a good way to at least get some guaranteed loot. Even though it won't be the best of things, it can at least be something. You never know, especially if you need health kits or something, it's a good place to go, or ammo. And be sure to get used to your map because it's very helpful, especially because everything in this game is blocked off by a wall or something. It's all like its own little dungeon. So keep in mind of that. And keep in mind it's also a battle royale. In this game there's like a force field of radiation that comes down. It's kind of ominous and scary, to be honest with you. But eventually, after getting some of the basics down, you guys are going to start getting some kills. Don't forget about your powers as well, because those are very essential, and other players are going to use them against you. So it's not cheap to use them as well. That's just part of the game. But getting the kills is so satisfying, and it does feel good. That's one of the things about this Apex Legends game. It is super cool. I mean, getting kills just is satisfying. And I love seeing them crawl on the ground like idiots. It's just hilarious. I think the animation is really wonky, and it looks silly as hell, but I think it's hilarious at the same time. I don't know, I've been having some weird kills now and again. But I will say some of these finishing kills are a lot of fun to do. Don't forget, when you get a finishing kill, you have to like get them out of the corner, and then you do whatever it is that you do. Oh, you gotta love that. So yeah, whatever you guys get into with this game, it's a lot of fun. I don't think you guys are going to be disappointed. I realize this game isn't for everyone, but for those of you guys looking for something new that's Battle Royale or something that's kind of a shooter, you know, this could be a lot better than playing some of those other dumb free-to-play games that are on the PlayStation market or even Steam, etc. This is a really great, well-made game, honestly. If you like Titanfall, you're going to like this. But, I mean, it's Titanfall without the mechs. I mean, it kind of is, in a way. But anyways, guys, hopefully you did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. If this video did help you, make sure to tell me down below, and whatever your favorite Apex Legend hero is. I didn't want to go over all the heroes in this video. I'm going to do that in a separate video, but hopefully you guys did get something out of this, and if you did, I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, guys, this has been Gamer Today.